Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Welcome. Welcome to this class. So, in the previous classes, we have discussed the various types of auxiliary equipments. So, Reaper Dozer is an auxiliary equipment which is used in surface mining for the reaping purpose. So this for reaping the minerals, the Nalco mines, the Damanjudi bauxite mining, uh, the Damanjudi bauxite mining in Odisha under Nalco National Aluminium Company. They are using the reaper dozers for mining the bauxite, and these reapers are used to reap the material. So here there will be no need of drilling and blasting. If you are using the reaper dozer, so no need of drilling and blasting. So it is a continuous mode of operation. So these are the peaks, reaper dozer peaks, which will plow the mineral, will plow the material and dig the material, cut the material, and after that the dozer will push the material to its destination. So this is called a reaper dozer machine. So the reaper dozer is nothing but a tractor. Reaper dozer is nothing but a tractor outfitted with dozer blades or push blocks. A dozer equipped with fork-like attachment is known as a ripper. It can be mounted either with one or two rippers. It operates like a plow to loosen moderately hard rock. The ripper dozer can also be used to extract thin coal seams where the thickness is less than 1.2 meter, where blasting is not effectively done. The it reaps the thin coal seams, and the latter can be loaded by the shovel and dumper combination. There are other crane attachments for the dozer, which is known as pipe layer, for transporting pumps, pipes, and laying pipes. Okay, so this is about your reaper dozer. Okay, so this is a motor grader. This is another equipment, heavy earth moving equipment, which is called your motor grader. So these motor graders are used for leveling the hull roads, leveling the surface. This is a motor grader. This is the schematic diagram of motor grader. So below the chassis, this is the fork is there, by the help of which the material can be pushed or leveled. So this is called a motor grader. So what is the functions carried out by the motor grader? Motor grader is nothing but a tractor also outfitted with dozer blades or push blocks. This is a machine used for leveling the road surface by smoothing out the ups and downs and for casting aside the boulders on the road. It is always pneumatic operated, tire operated with a rear wheels drive. The grading blade is attached to a circle that is hung from the overhead frame and pulled by a drawbar fastened to the front of the frame. The blade is usually 3 to 4 meter long, having replaceable edges on the sides and the bottom. The approximate cost of a medium-sized motor grader will be 60 lakhs. This is essential equipment in open cast mines for continuous maintenance of the hull roads. So the motor graders are used for maintenance of the hull roads. There is another equipment which called your scraper. This is a scraper equipment. What is the function of scraper? The scraper uh, carry out the job of excavation as well as it transports the equipment, it transports the material. So the scraper is an equipment which excavates the material and as well as transports the material. Therefore, it is called excavation cum transport equipment. It is suitable for soft material. Scraper is used for removal of the soft material. It is generally used for topsoil removal. It is diesel operated with pneumatic tire wheels are there. A bowl fitted with a cutting blade at the bottom of the machine. So this is called your scraper. So the operation of the scraper can be understood from this diagram. You just see this is the engine and above the engine your operator is sitting. This is the wheel, and this is the cutting. This is a chain like cutting device. So whatever material is cut, it is taken to this bowl, and after that it is transported. Okay, the material goes, cuts, and taken to the bowl. So this chain moves in the clockwise direction and the material is collected in the bowl. So the scraper is pushed forward by a dozer. It is pushed forward by a dozer. Its blades cuts a thin slice of a earth, usually between 100 millimeter to 250 millimeter thick, over a distance of nearly 30 meter. The earth is automatically collected in the bowl located at the center of the machine. This is the bowl located at the center of the machine. After cutting the material is taken to the bowl. So the bowl contains the material. The earth is automatically collected in the bowl located at the center of the machine. The bowl capacity ranges from 5 cubic meter to uh, 20 cubic meter and takes nearly half to 1 minute for loading. So by the help of this cutting chain, the material is cut and taken to this bowl. So the bowl capacity is 5 cubic meter to 20 cubic meter, and after the bowl is filled up by the material, the machine moves forward, transports the material to its destination. So when the scraper is fully loaded, its bottom opening is closed. After the bowl is filled up, its bottom opening is closed through a table operated by the operator. At the dumping yard, as the scraper moves, the bottom opening of bowl is opened and the contents of earth are unloaded in the layer 150 millimeter to 250 millimeter thick over a distance of 30 to 50 meter. So the scraper, after cutting the material, after loading the material, collecting the materials in the bowl, it travels up to 30 to 50 meter distance to dump the materials. to transport the material. So this is the operation of a scraper. And there is another type of shovel is there, which is called your front end loader. This is the front end loader, wheel mounted front end loader, wheel loader. It is also called your wheel loader. This is front end loader. This is front end loader, which is also called your wheel loader, also known as payloader or front end loader, for loading the material to the dumpers. So by the help of this payloader, it is a small size of machine. It takes the material, loads to the dumpers or tipping truck to the transport purpose. So wheel loader, also known as payloader or front end loader, for loading the material onto the dumper or tipping truck for the transport purpose. So this is called your front end loader. So this is the function. This is the ray diagram. This is the schematic diagram of a front end loader. This is the front end loader. Here this is the operator who sits here, and on the front side this is the bucket. On the front side this is the bucket, which is uh, raised to this position, and the material is loaded to the dumpers. So this is the front end loader. It loads the material from the front. That is why it is called your front end loader. It is also called your payloader. So what is the function of the front end loader? These loaders, front end loaders, are a popular addition to tractors from 50 to 200 horsepower. The capacity of the front end loader varies from 50 horsepower to 200 horsepower. A loader, a front end loader, also known as bucket loader, front end loader, payloader, also people call it scoop loader, shovel, skip loader, or wheel loader, is a type of tractor. It is nothing but a type of tractor, usually wheel mounted. Sometimes on they move on tracks, that has a front mounted square wide bucket connected to the end of two booms arms to scoop up loose material from the ground, such as dirt, sand, or gravel, and move it from one place to another without pushing the material across. So the front end loader is commonly used to move a stockpiled material from ground level and deposit it into an awaiting dump truck or into an open trench excavation. The loader assembly may be a removable attachment or permanently mounted. Often the bucket can be replaced with other devices or tools. For example, many can mount forks to lift heavy pallets or shipping containers, and a hydraulically opening clamshell bucket allows a loader to act as a light dozer or scraper. So this is the front end loader. So front end loader. So let us go to the other part. That is your front end loader. So surface mining practices. Surface, let us see the surface uh, mining practices. Let us see what are the surface mining practices carried out uh, in open cast mines. So in surface mining, so all these auxiliary equipments are used for different purposes. So we have till now we have discussed about the different mining technologies used in surface mines, like your shovel dumper mining, dragline mining, bucket wheel bucket wheel excavator mining, and surface miner, ripper dozer, and many other technologies like your in-pit crossing and conveying technology is being uh, taught to you till now. So all these methods are used in surface mines depending upon the type of mineral you are going to uh, um, mine. So and we have also discussed about we have also discussed about the different type of auxiliary equipments, which are used in surface mines, like your ripper dozers, road graders, your front end loaders, uh, uh, and other auxiliary equipments used in surface mines. So uh, this is the way the surface mining is carried out in open cast mines. Let us see. Just hold on. Okay, so that was not opening. Let us see another aspect: mining and mineral resources, their exploration, mining and mineral resources what are the different type of mineral resources you are going to mine by surface mining methods. Mining and mineral resources, their exploitation and mining. So, non-renewable mineral resources. The earth crust contains the minerals and rocks. So the minerals are your inorganic compound that
Sir,
occurs. Yes, yes.
your skin is not visible, sir. Black skin is visible.
Okay, just wait. What happened?
That MS Teams not minimized it, sir.
Uh-huh. But I have minimized. Okay. Yes, now it is visible. Okay. Hmm. So we are just discussing about the mining and mineral resources, their exploitation and mining. Okay. So the non-renewable mineral resources exists in the earth crust. So in the earth crust, you are having the minerals and you are having the rocks. So the minerals are deep-seated and covered by the rocks. So what are minerals? Minerals are nothing but inorganic compound that occurs naturally in the earth's crust. They are solid materials. They are regular internal crystalline structures. So whereas the rock is a solid combination of one or more minerals. So let us define the mineral resource. What is a mineral resource? So any mineral resource definition is any mineral useful to humans like your metallic minerals, iron oxide, gold, non-metallic minerals, limestone, sand, fossil fuel, coal, petroleum. These are called your mineral resources. And what is a ore? A rock that can be profitably mined for a mineral or for minerals is called a ore. High grade ores are there, has high concentration of the mineral. Low grade ores are there, smaller concentration of the smaller concentration of the mineral. And there are some gangue particles like your minerals other than ore present in a rock. Uh, so there are different type of metals are there. Abundant metals concentration is greater than 0.1% in the earth crust, like your iron, aluminum, silicon, magnesium, titanium, manganese. There are some scarce metals which is less than 0.01% in the earth crust. Ferroalloys like nickel, chromium, base metals like copper, lead, zinc, precious metals like gold, silver, platinum, special metals like your gallium, arsenic, germanium, rare earths, beryllium, scandium, etc. And the metals which you get from the minerals, they are PBT, persistent bioaccumulative and very toxic materials are there, like copper, chromium, nickel, aluminum, zinc. 5 nutrient metals are there which are sometimes very toxic. 6 non-nutrient metals like lead, arsenic, beryllium, cadmium, etc. Okay, so metals cannot be banned and are present in nature, in oil, in soil, in food, and in water. So, particularly the lead, cadmium, arsenic, mercury pose a health problem. Special problems are there. So, highly uneven distribution is there of the minerals. In South Africa, 50% gold is there, 75% chromium is there, 90% platinum is there. In USA, 50% molybdenum is there, 15% lead is there. In Chile, 30% copper. In Cuba, 40% nickel. In Guinea and Australia, 25% each of aluminum is present. So there is a great demand of the minerals. Mineral supply and demand. Wall scenario is like this. Present demand is present production. Future projection is based on constant 1995 figures. Iron, aluminum, chromium, cobalt, and platinum will last centuries. So the copper, lead, zinc, gold, silver will last several decades only, and these are the supply and demand of the minerals. Other options are there: reduce the consumption of the minerals, smaller households, more leisure, travel, convenience, etc. So new methods of exploration of the mineral. You have to explore the minerals to go for mining. So new methods of exploration are geophysics, geochemistry, remote sensing, using Landsat data, better understanding of the geology. Marine mineral resources are also there in the seawater, in the placer deposits, hydrothermal deposits. Manganese nodules are there in the sea deposits. International Law of Sea Conference is there to demarcate the mineral resources in the sea floor. The Indian Bureau of Mines is there to take care of the conservation of the mineral resources. You have to conserve the mineral resources. You cannot go for arbitrary mining of the mineral resources. So proper conservation should be there. Therefore, in India, there is a mineral conservation rule is there. So you have to conserve the mineral resources. Uh, you have to find out a substitute mineral which increases consumption of the substituting metal or non-metal, which itself might be limited in amount. And you have to go for recycling. In recycling means whatever metals you are mining, and after use of the metals, instead of throwing to the atmosphere, it should be recycled. In USA, 60% of lead, 40% of copper, one-third of nickel, and almost one-fourth of aluminum, chromium, cobalt, and zinc is recycled. So recycled uh, aluminum requires 20 times less energy than new aluminum. It is difficult to do with finished products like cars or fridges. So special problem with alloys are there. Road salt, fertilizers, lead in gasoline gets too dispersed. So it reduces the waste disposal problem. That is why you have to go for recycling of the metals. So metals are emitted in the air during mining, smelting, refining, manufacturing, and recycling. So because of emission of the metals to the atmosphere, mine atmosphere, so air emissions are mostly particulate matters, and these particulate matters fall out by gravity or wash out by rain. So therefore, the soil is polluted, vegetation is polluted, water is polluted. So therefore, there are some impact of mining activities on the environment. So whenever you go for surface mining, there is a lot of impact on the environment. Your water environment, air environment is going to be affected, polluted. So impact of mining activities on environment. So the mining hazards are uh, uh, mostly because of the mining activities. So most hazardous activity in the US is mining activity. Like your mining, 43% deaths per 1 lakh people. Agriculture 40, construction 32. So therefore mining is considered as a hazardous profession. So the life cycle of metal, if you see just here, uh, life cycle of a metal. Suppose iron ore, steel you are making from the iron ore, you are making the steel, and this is the surface mining carried out. This is the surface mining you are doing for the iron ore deposits. After that, metal is obtained. After that, separation of ore from the gangue is carried out, then smelting is done, then melting of the metal is carried out, and finally this is the end product, conversion to a product. This is the uh, life cycle of a metal. So the smelting means heating to release metals, that but creating air polluting byproducts. Whenever you are going for smelting, so air pollution is there. Chemical removal processes such as using cyanide to remove gold can create toxic holding ponds. So therefore, so after the end product is obtained, instead after using the end product, instead of discarding the product, it can be recycled and the smelting can be done again. So that this is the life cycle of a metal resource. So you started from mining, surface mining. This is the surface mining, and this is the iron ore mine. And from the iron ore mine, you obtain the metal ore, and from the metal ore, you separated the ore from the gangue particles. Then after that, the metal is smelted. Smelting is carried out in the smelting plant, and after that, melting of the metal is done, and after that, the end product is obtained, like this car.
Sir,
And yes.
sir, what is smelting?
Smelting, there is a smelter plant in Rourkela steel plant also. There is a smelting plant, means after mining, after mining iron ore, for example. So this iron ore uh, contains gangue particles. So gangue means waste materials. So you have to separate the gangue particles from the iron ore, and you'll get the pure iron. And after getting the pure iron, then it will be smelted. It will be smelting will be done, so to further refine the uh, uh, further refine and the whatever the other after the smelting is done, uh, so it will be some byproducts will come out, means some uh, impurity. So smelting is done to make it pure, so by removing some impurities associated with it. So after this impurity is removed, then it will be melted in the melting plant, to get this metal is melted, and after that it is converted to the end product, for example a car. So the car is run for 20 years or 30 years, and after that, instead of discarding it, you should go for recycling again. This metal should be taken to the smelting plant, uh, and it can be reused again. So this is the life cycle of a metal resource. So in surface mines, in open pit mines, where large three-dimensional ore body lies close to the surface, leaves a large exposed hole on the surface, and exposed rocks prone to weathering and polluting the atmosphere. So strip mines are carried out mostly for coal deposits, where minerals occur in layers paralleling the surface. Waste rocks are dumped back as spoil banks. Newer regulations require reclamation. After the mining is done, reclamation activity is to be carried out involving grading, restoring, and replanting the trees. So the extracting mineral deposits from the surface mines from the shallow deposits. This is the open pit mining. This is the area strip mining is carried out to uh, extract the minerals from the surface mines. In United States of America, 90% of non-fuel minerals are extracted, and rocks, and 60% of the coal is extracted. So whenever you go for surface mining, you will come across with overburden rock material, which is overburden is nothing but soil and rock overlying the deposit. And these discarded overburden is called your spoil material. This is the layout of a mine from where the overburden material is removed and dumped in the spoil dump area. This is the spoil dump area. Okay, so sometimes the mineral deposits, iron ore deposits, they are located on the hilltop. So that is called your mountain top removal. Mountain top removal mining. So these are the spoil banks, spoil materials, waste materials. Spoil banks, Rainbow coal strip mine, they have spoiled the material. Grading of spoils is carried out by road graders. This is the grading. Grading is carried out by the road graders, by the dozers, so that the land will be reclaimed and new plants can be planted. So that is the grading of soil is carried out by the help of the road graders. We have seen. Then after that, extracting the mineral deposit, so by from the underground mines that are too deep. If you are not able to carry out the surface mining, then you have to go for underground mining. And because the surface mines disturb, because the underground mining, subsurface mining, underground mining disturbs the land very less, produces less waste also, but also less effective and dangerous. So you must have read in the underground mining technology, metal mining technology, underground metal mining technology, generally less disruptive than the surface mines, because in underground mining you would sink a vertical shaft, whereas in surface mines a lot of land area is necessary for mining purpose. Tunnels are driven closely follow the ore body. Some waste rock may be on the surface. Shallow abandoned mines can cause collapse of the roof. So this is the collapse of land surface. Collapse of land surface over an old abandoned copper mine. So subsidence also sometimes take place. Subsidence pits and troughs over abandoned underground coal mines are also found. So whenever you are going for mining, sources of metal pollution are like whenever you go for mining, air pollution is there, water pollution is there, land pollution is there. So fossil fuel combustion also, whenever coal is used for generating electricity, so a lot of carbon dioxide is thrown to the atmosphere. So air is polluted, water is polluted, land is polluted. So other sources, natural sources are also there which pollutes the metal pollution. So the harmful environmental effects of mining. Whenever you go for surface mining, the environment is going to be polluted. So there are in the mining area, you have come across with acid mine drainage, AMD, heavy metal contamination, processing, chemical pollution, erosion, and sedimentation. These are the harmful environmental effects of mining activities. So before mining, this was the, suppose the minerals contain sulfide. So whenever rainwater will come in contact with the sulfide, sulfuric acid will be generated. So that is called your acid mine drainage. So after mining, so this is the scenario. Before mining, this is the scenario. So 99 tons of waste material is produced to get 1 ton of copper. To get 1 ton of copper, you are generating 99 tons of waste material. And the acid mine drainage is a great problem in surface mines. Acid mine drainage uh, because of sulfur in the ores. If sulfur is present in the ores, it will react with water and oxygen to form sulfuric acid, which leaks out from the mine. Uh, so thiopalicious and peroxidans bacteria in acid water hastens the process. Acid is carried off the mine site by rainwater or surface drainage and deposited into nearby streams, rivers, lakes, and groundwater. So, acid mine drainage severely degrades the water quality and can kill aquatic life and make water virtually unusable. So this is the scenario of acid mine drainage in a mine. You just see the water has become yellow in color. So this is called your acid mine drainage. This is a mine. From the mine, the mine water has become yellow in color because it contains a lot of sulfuric acid. So this is the scenario in mining areas. Water gets polluted because of the acid mine drainage. And sometimes the heavy metal contamination and leaching also takes place. So heavy metal contamination and leaching, heavy metal pollution is caused when such metals such as the arsenic, cobalt, copper, cadmium, lead, silver, and zinc contained in excavated rock or exposed in an underground mine come in contact with water. Metals are leached out and carried downstream as water washes over the rock surface. Leaching is particularly accelerated in the low pH conditions such as are created by acid mine drainage. So processing chemicals, pollution also take place, erosion and sedimentation also takes place because of your mining activities. And the mineral processing, whenever you go for mineral processing the minerals, whenever you go for processing the minerals, crossing of the ores produces the mine tailings waste materials. Traces of pollutants like mercury, arsenic, cadmium, and uranium may leach out of tailings and contaminate the groundwater and landfills. Processing chemicals like your cyanide are major hazards associated with your gold processing. Smelting plants also releases toxic elements like your sulfur dioxide, etc., and causes acid mine drainage, acid rain. So if the sulfur dioxide will be emitted to the atmosphere in rainy season, water will come in contact with sulfur dioxide and acid rain will be there, which can destroy the vegetation. So this is the adverse effects of mining to the environment. So what are the solution? How to get solution to protect the environment? So you have to go for sustainable use of non-renewable minerals. Solution is sustainable use of non-renewable minerals. Do not waste mineral resources. Recycle and reuse 60 to 80% of mineral resources. Include the harmful environmental costs of mining and processing minerals in prices of items, full cost pricing, reduce mining subsidies, increase subsidies for recycling, reuse, and finding substitute minerals, redesign manufacturing processes to use less mineral resources and to produce less pollution and waste to go for cleaner production. Use mineral resource wastes of one manufacturing process as raw materials for other processes, slow population growth. These are the solutions you can think of. So, for PBT, PBT means persistent, bioaccumulative, toxic metals are there. Like your lead is very toxic, mercury is very toxic, cadmium is very toxic, arsenic is very toxic. So these are the four persistent bioaccumulative toxic metals. So lead uh, present scenario compared to 100 years ago, 4 times in Antarctica ice, 15 times greater in coral, 500 times greater in household dusts, uh, was used in plumbing, soldering, paint, gasoline. Lead is used for this purpose. And this adverse effects of lead, affects the nervous system of human fetus and small children. Most of the lead is stored in bones and along with calcium is released in mother's milk, affects the IQ of the person, causes delinquency, kidney cancer. In adults, high blood pressure affects nervous system and kidney failure, anemia and infertility. These are the adverse effects of lead. Similarly, the lead sources are sources of lead similar to other metals, mining, smelting, coal burning, power plants, incinerators, they produce lead. Lead paints, lead contaminated soil, plumbing affects children in poor households. Made worse by poor diet, low in calcium and iron. For people living in lead-free environment, food is the major source. Sources of lead are gasoline, lead level in exhausts fell 90% after banning of lead in gasoline. The substitute is benzene is carcinogen. Lead in the blood of children fell 4 to 6 microgram per liter. Major problem now in China of lead problem is there in China. So, so lead is a great problem for the human existence. Similarly, another metal is there which is called your mercury. Another metal is there which is called your mercury. Mercury is also very dangerous metal. Uh, uh, it is a very toxic metal. It is a very toxic metal, mercury. So much of the mercury in the environment originates as mercury vapor from coal burning power plants, and elemental mercury not as injurious as methyl mercury. Most of the mercury ends up in the ocean where bacteria in the bottom sediments convert elemental mercury to methyl mercury. So methyl mercury biomagnifies up the food chain. So mercury is having a very bad effect on our environment. People suffer because of the mercury concentration. So there are certain adverse effects of mercury. 95% of the exposure comes from eating contaminated fish, toxic to nervous system. Minamata tragedy has taken place in 1930. Mercury uh, has uh, caused many adverse effects. So how to reduce the risk from mercury? How to reducing risk from mercury? As per the regulations, Environmental Protection Agency has set standards for drinking water, air emissions, and is tackling the biggest source. Coal burning also produces mercury, and reduce the workplace exposure, reduce or eliminate mercury containing products in rechargeable batteries and button cells. Then cadmium is another metal which is very dangerous also, and which cadmium was discovered in the year 1817. It is heavily mined since mid 40s. Bioaccumulates in kidney, increases with age, and it can also create or have a danger of cancer, birth defects in the rats. So these sources of cadmium are found in mining and smelting of zinc, lead, copper, coal burning, phosphatic fertilizers, sewage sludge. So cadmium is a source of problem. 90% of the exposure is through food, uh, fish, scallops and oysters. Liver, kidneys of larger animals, beef, venison also contains the cadmium. So the another last one I'll tell you is the arsenic. Arsenic is very carcinogenic. It can cause cancer. Metal smelting of copper and lead will produce the arsenic used to be common weed killer emitted by volcanoes naturally present in soil, major environmental problem in Bangladesh. So this is all about I wanted to talk to you today. So today we have discussed some of the uh, metals which are very dangerous to the environment, like your arsenic, lead, cadmium, mercury. These four metals are very toxic metals, and they are very dangerous to the environment. So while mining, you should keep in mind the while mining the minerals, you should protect the environment. Environmental protection is very important aspect to go for sustainable mining. So today we have discussed some of the auxiliary machineries used in surface mines. After that, we have seen how the environment is going to be polluted: air pollution, water pollution, land pollution, noise, ground vibration takes place because of the mining of the minerals using surface mining technology. So there are certain environmental problems associated with surface mining technology, whereas in the case of underground mining technology, uh, you dig a vertical shaft and get into the mine, so without affecting the surface area. So you become means you do not destroy the surface land like your forests, like your habitation. So you dig a vertical shaft and go down the pit and take out the minerals, so the environment is less affected in underground mining. Uh, Whereas in surface mining, a lot of forest land is going to be destroyed, a lot of land surface is going to be destroyed, the habitation living on the surface are to be vacated. So surface mining is very uh, harmful to the environment, because air pollution will be there because of the dust, water pollution will be there because of the presence of sulfur and other uh, um, acidic minerals. Sulfur, if sulfur is there, then sulfuric acid will be generated, and water is going to become acidic in nature. So these are the uh, environmental problems associated with surface mining. Similarly, for blasting, ground vibration will be there. For drilling, dust pollution will be there. Loading, transportation will create a lot of dust in the environment, and water is going to be polluted, and noise will be there because of the movement of heavy earth moving machineries. A lot of noise will be there. At the time of blasting, vibration will be there, so ground vibration. So these are the associated problems in surface mining. Whenever you go for surface mining, all these problems will be there. So this is all about today's class. Thank you for your patient hearing. Have a good day. Thank you. We'll
Thank you,
meet
sir.
in the next week. Thank you. Thank
Thank you,
you.
sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.